Thank you everybody for being here for the last session of the day before drinks. So I'm glad there's actually some people in the room. We're here to talk a little bit about the student offboarding project. Tyson's been working on this for quite some time. I'm actually new into the group, but I have had the opportunity to be slightly involved in this. So today we just wanted to give you a little bit of an overview of what we're doing and where the project is at the moment. So to begin with, we just wanted to give you a little bit of a background, but as to why this project came about and what the motivation for this actually was. But with the Australian government undertaking the accepting of more immigrants into Victoria especially, Swinburne University PAVE has committed to basically continue to improve on our program to achieve better learning and life outcomes for students that are coming in through CGEA and through migrant English classes. Some of the different things that we noticed was that many of these students are coming in with existing qualifications and careers brought to them from their home countries, but these students are aspiring to economically contribute to our culture and to our country, and they want to provide their families with good opportunities, but quite often they're in a situation where their qualifications are not recognised and it's hard for them to find work due to some of their language skills. So the challenge for us, or the challenge that we needed to address, was that many students are actually unclear as to what the options of their pathways are after they finish their qualifications. They don't know where they're able to go in their career or whether they're able to move into other qualifications. The other thing is that many students actually move around in diverse different areas, so there wasn't a one-size-fits-all model that you can put in place for these students. The model had to be flexible enough to move with the different choices that the students were likely to make. The other thing was that students were actually unaware of their ability to move into different areas of the university, and many of them were actually moving away after they finished their qualifications and then reapplying through VTAC to get back into university when it just wasn't actually something they needed to do. So we were hoping that, giving them a little bit more information about what their options are was an opportunity for them to move forward in a more simplistic way.
So the solution we've come up with, flip it around.
That's it.
There, better. Okay, so the solution we've come up with is the student offboarding project or program. It's an organisational level Blackboard shell, so all students have access to it on the left-hand side of that first screen they go into, so it's really easy to find and it's right there for them. It becomes available in their last semester to their last term of study in their first course. It gives students access to a range of online material. For this program, we have not created anything. What we've done is we've trawled through all the Swinburne websites and we've found all the relevant, the really, really good material that everybody within Swinburne has already created, and we've brought it all together to give students easy access to it. With that, we have 4 key outcomes. Give students clear knowledge of the pathways that they can take within Swinburne. Give them the knowledge of where the future jobs are going. As some of our keynote speakers have already talked about, who would have thought iPads would be around, the changing of technology are going to change our jobs. Reflect on their time at Swinburne. What have they learnt? What have they refined? What are they really good at? And articulation into higher education courses. So that just reinforces their pathways. Our goal for this program is increase the articulation of students into vet courses up to 20%, higher education courses by 50%, and jobs 20%. Currently, this is what we envisage the student course engagement course to be. I said course too many times there. Students, when they first enrol, do the student induction. All PAVE students currently do that, where they focus on their LLN, the Swinburne knowledge that they need to be made aware of, where the student services are, campus-specific information. They then go into their study, whichever course they're doing. They then come into the student offboarding in their last semester or last term, where we focus back on things they touched on in their introduction. So they refocus on what they've learned, reflection. We also do an LLN test again. So that way we've got 2 data points so we can analyse their LLN increase. I think I've ticked everything off. You're up.
Cool. Thank you. So one of the main aims of the student offboarding was to plant the idea or the concept of lifelong learning. What we wanted to do was clearly show the progression that a student can take through the AQF and where their position sits within the progress of where they're going. So Swinburne actually has also, another department of Swinburne has actually developed an app that we'll have a look at in a second that shows the pathway process that a student can take that is built into the website so they're able to use it. And what it does is it gives them the opportunity to have a look at where they can progress to and what kind of credits they might already have that can be put towards that progression.
So the pilot group that we've selected for this is the CGA and Migrant English cohorts. Thanks. We have CGA and Migrant English students at all 3 campuses, and all 3 campuses have been selected for this. They focus on functional English skills, a sense of community, and provide informal support for new immigrants and CGA students. We have 4 levels of CGA and Migrant English at all the 3 campuses, from Certificate 1 all the way up to Certificate 4 in English Further Studies. Our rollout team has been Vicky Singleton, who is the team leader of CGA. Then we have a course coordinator at all 3 campuses. So we have Alison at Wanturna, Bridget over at Croydon, and Julie here. And they will be incorporating this program into their courses for the CGA and ME's final semester of this year. The Pathway Planner.
So this is the Pathway Planner, and as you can see, there is an opportunity for students to actually start typing in the qualification that they're currently studying, or the qualification that they're keen to be able to complete. And it does have intuitive text, so it does actually allow you to then select from a list that's available. And then they press on the "What can I do" button, and as you can see in the next section, they actually then are provided with a list of where they can progress from the qualification that they've already completed. This also works in reverse, so they can actually type in a qualification they want to do, and it will provide them with the qualifications and the pathways that they can undertake to actually get credit towards that qualification. If a result doesn't come up, they are actually informed to contact their teachers or the student support to get a little bit more of an idea about what specifically is focused in their particular area. And at the moment, this tool is primarily used for VE students looking to progress into an undergraduate qualification. However, it does also include some postgraduate qualifications as well, and it does start at a certificate level. However, we're hoping to expand that and add more qualifications into this. We do highly encourage any teachers that are here to point their students in this direction and see how they go and whether they like the tool, and any feedback would be fantastic. So I just want to give a little bit of credit where credit's due with the Pathway Planner team, and of course this project came about through the hard work of Judy Raymond and Sarah McPherson from Communication, Jordan Kapp and Stephanie Baker from Digital Marketing. There was also a keen amount of support from Kathleen Menden and Chris Pilgrim, and we're lucky enough to have a third-year computer science student involved in the development as well. So I'd like to acknowledge Jonathan Mayers for his hard work as well.
This program has truly been a collaborative approach from all parts of Swinburne. So we really do want to thank everybody for that. We have taken things from future students, especially Swin employee. We have a whole section there where they have some really great resources that we've been able to tap into. So, yep, credit where credit's due. I don't think I've got everyone. At the moment, what are we doing? We're refining the information that's in there, ready for our rollout. We do have our next pilot group already teed up, and that's business and finance. So, any questions? Comments, queries?
Suggestions?
Hoorays. Yes.
I want to start off and say that's great to see what's been done. When I was studying TAFE a while ago, and it wasn't at Swinburne, but there was very little of what you can do next. And I think that's also something I've heard while at Swinburne as well, is there's very little of where to go from next, that transition, particularly the internal transition, and how you transition from being in vocational education up to higher ed. I do wonder is there any further plans for rolling this out across there and including more into that to help with the transitioning process?
Yeah, so once our two pilot groups have done with it, they've given us our feedback, we've taken it back and rejigged it. It does plan to be rolled out across PAVE for all of our students to have access to it.
Definitely willing to have conversations with obviously the higher education groups as well as to how this can work for them, especially with postgrad stuff.
Yeah. We are in conversations with student advancement, so hopefully we get some good results out of that as well.
I have a question. Universities are very conventionally very siloed environments, and I think one of the biggest silos that we face in dual sector universities is about the silos between PAVE and higher ed. So I commend you for your collaborative work on this project. Could you tell us a little bit more about what you think the value is of working in a collaborative way in a project like this?
Not having to create a whole bunch of material was the best one. I was able to go through the Swinburne website and I found everything I needed. I created a list of what I felt would have been good to have, and in consultation with other people what students actually needed, and I then didn't have to go and create everything because it was there. It took a bit of finding, but we do some really great things here at Swinburne, and a lot of it is, unfortunately, it is siloed. We need to start sharing. So.
The other thing I would like to add about working collaboratively is that we all specialise in our different areas. I must admit, I do specialise in the vet area or VE area, but you don't always know what you don't know, and I think it's really important to have those conversations with all the different areas, and there's no point in every single sector reinventing the wheel all the time when we could actually be putting those resources together and coming up with something that's multifunctional and familiar for students as they progress through the different sectors. Because if they're starting off with the VE area and they're wanting to use these tools in this offboarding process, that it's a fantastic thing for them to be familiar with that once they move on to using the same or similar tools in their higher education. So.
Then I'll close this session by saying thank you very much. I thought it was such an interesting project. You really sparked my interest at the beginning with that, that note about how many students come out of the PAVE courses and then go out and go back in externally to get to higher ed. And I thought that was a really strong evidence of how siloed, we have worked in the past. And I think you gave us an example of a great project, but also of a great process that ended up with a good outcome. So. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We'll keep you posted.
Thank you, everyone.